Welcome back to my channel, everyone. My name is Joshua Albo. If you're new to my channel, I go over business tips and personal finance tips that have helped me in my business. The whole point of this channel is to either share the mistakes that I've made so you don't have to make the same mistakes that I've made, as well as to put dollars in your pocket, because otherwise watching YouTube for entertainment, I don't see as productive. It might be fun. If you enjoy it, more power to you, but the whole point is I want to put dollars in your pocket. Dollars, crypto, gold, whatever the case may be. I want to make you some money. Now in the video today, I want to discuss why I think if you have under $100K to $250,000 in liquidity, I think getting a 50 to 100% return annually should be very, very easy to do. They say that the stock market on average does 8 to 12% over the past 100 years. Sometimes it's up 20, sometimes it's down 10, sometimes it's up 10, sometimes it's down 5. So the average over the past 100 years has been 10% is what they say. But that also includes risk. So for example, in the down years, it might be down 16%, like in 2008 or like the last March in 2020. And I don't necessarily love the risk of holding an index when it has the potential to go down that high of a percentage. If I could put my money to use in a better way, that's a lower risk. Now, the reason I think that 50% to 100% returns annually under the 100K, like Warren Buffett had a quote that he talked about where under like $1 million, I think he could get 100% return annually. But I think obviously at a lower amount, 100K, 250K, it's even easier because of all of the bonus incentives out there, as well as the return on cash you can get from marketing or starting or running a business. I think running your own business is less risky than putting it into stock asset classes or bond asset classes or whatever, because you have more control, but also not even necessarily control, but you can shift what happens in your business because you get to make the choices. You get to control yourself and make the choices if you have the discipline for the direction of the business. Whereas if you buy stock in a company, you might have zero say. Let's say you put your 100K in, or even your $1,000 or $10,000 or $250,000, whatever. You have no say in what the direction of that company goes, really, realistically. Whereas if you hire an employee, if that employee is not productive, you can fire them. If your marketing isn't working, or you're hiring someone to marketing, or whatever the case may be, if it's not working, you don't have to keep doing that. If what you're selling no longer has demand, you don't have to keep selling it. You can pivot. Now, aside from that, if you just look at the bonuses, the bank bonuses, the credit bonuses, there's about the $11,400 in bank, credit, brokerage, crypto. It's about $11,400 that I've seen so far, not including PPP loans. No loans, just cash bonuses that I've seen so far, just for my state, because it's closer to $20,000 to $50,000 in bonuses. And then when you start throwing 20 to 30K into accounts, it's even higher too. So that's probably another 5 to 10K right there. So let's say about $20,000 in bonuses if you have about 60 to 80,000 in liquidity, as well as having a business. But these bonuses are also insured, so it's no risk. So I'll give you an example. Flagstar just reopened their put $5,000 in for 90 days, get $500 back. 10% return in 90 days. If you annualize that times 4, that's about a 40% return. And that's just on this 5K. Now, let's say you only have one business, or you can only do it with one person per business. If you have friends that are business owners and you put up the cash, or you put up not even the cash, but the liquidity to go into the account, then you get that same return 4 times a year just on this 5K. And there's other ones that are maybe like 16% in 45 days, or there's the credit ones where it's maybe no dollars up front needed, and they just pay out the $200 or $500 bonus, depending on which card it is, up front without having to put up any money up front. So that's why I think it's so easy. Like, you could double your money if you have a small amount of money. I think it's very easy to double in the short term with low risk, because these are insured products. They're no risk. And I guess I'll leave one tidbit about the marketing too. The way I would look at marketing is if you can spend $1 in ads and get $1 back, so it pays for itself. I would take, even if it's not profitable, I would still take that deal every day of the week, because in 5 to 10 years, it's going to be paying out. On top of that, you're building brand reputation. You're building the business around this. And then you can scale up past that. Obviously, I love my $40 ads that bring in $240 net, or my $90 ads that bring in $700 net. So it's completely doable to scale past that too. But on such a small dollar amount, you have full control of the choices of where your ad spend's going. Or if you know that you can hire an employee you're going to pay $10, $20 an hour, but you're going to make, let's say, $120 on that pre-tax. There's just so many asymmetrical risk reward scenarios when you're playing with this small dollar amount. So I think it's a lot easier to grow with a smaller dollar amount. So if you have $100,000, couple $100,000, under $1 million, let's say, to play with, I think it's completely doable to, at a very extremely low to no risk, to double that money in about a year's time. Hopefully that gives you something to think about. If you're curious about the 11 grand in bonuses, the best way to get a hold of me is DM me on Instagram at @TheJoshElbow. happy to walk anybody through who wants to learn about it. It's just cash bonuses. They're not loans. You don't have to pay them back. I took full advantage of them. I share it with everybody. My goal is to give away $1 billion worth of bonuses over the next 30 years, let's say. Because my thought is, if I can give away, if I can make somebody 10 grand, what are the odds they're going to give me half? What are the odds they're going to give me 10%? How well can I negotiate as long as the bonuses are still around to tell about it? So there's my $1 billion strategy. Feel free to take full advantage of it because I think it's easy. It's easy money, but it's smart money, I think. Not to be naive, not to be unhumble. I just think it makes sense. What's easier to sell than money? Which is surprisingly difficult because of the limiting beliefs people have, but there's my take for the day. My last thing would be just get the bonuses. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.